Okay, so this one is really important because it has to do with hydration. Now, why hydration is important when it comes to lower back pain or joint pain, even training or health in general, is because hydration basically is addressing the level of fluids, if you prefer, in your cells, in your tissue. So, is back pain really a big deal? Well, if you have bulging disc, it is. And as we get older, we dehydrate. The dehydration causes tissue to not be as spongeous, which means they're drier. If they're drier, what happened to a sponge that is dry? Easy to crack, right? Same happens with our muscle, our tendons, our ligaments. There's a reason why injury, as we get older, or why we don't do as much to avoid injuries, simply because the risk for injury is greater. Simply because our tissue are not as fluid and do not heal as fast either. Why? Mostly because of hydration. Also, the little pillows that are between your vertebrae are called discs. Those discs are sponges. They absorb shocks, right? When they're sponges, guess what happens when they dry? They have issues, right? Same thing happens with our back here. Everywhere, from literally our neck all the way down, but also in our joint. The synovial fluid, which is also held in a little capsule in your joints. When you dehydrate yourself, that is not as much there. And what happens is, before you know it, you're young and there's a lot of space with a little capsule with fluids in there, synovial fluids, and there's plenty of room and it's spongious and you absorb the shocks. And guess what happens as you dehydrate? Right there. So, what is hydration? Drink water as much as you want to. You may not hydrate yourself. If you drink distilled water or reverse osmosis, you do not get any minerals. And minerals is basically what creates hydration. In other words, you need to have something called electrolytes. Electrolytes are basically 5 main minerals. You have trace minerals too, but sodium, potassium, and yes, sodium is not that bad for you, the right amount and the right kind of sodium. Sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium, and chloride. Okay, very important. These gives you basically the hydration you need, and there are plenty of drinks out there touting the amazing ability that they have to rehydrate your body. Something simple like coconut water is pretty amazing too. It's a trend right now. All this really helps, but hydration is important if you have back pain, particularly if it has to do with the spine and your disc, even your joints like the knees and so on. So what are the signs of dehydration? Simple one, for instance. You can simply pinch your skin like this, and that is if you are dehydrated, it will show. And you see how fast it flattens out again. Because the level of liquid that you have in your cells, in your tissue, would make this basically say, well, if it's, if you take here where it's more hydrated, but it goes flat right away. And here it may not as much. Because wherever your skin is the thinnest is where you can find out very quickly whether or not you're hydrated. If it flattens out really fast, and you'll see that in a second even better, then you pinch it, you let go, whoa, it gets flat, meaning you're hydrated, no big deal. If you're not, like the cracked sponge, right, dried sponge, your skin, it takes time to regain its shape. And it sometimes even stay there for a long time. I've pinched people before, gentle. But they pinch just a little bit like this and the skin will stay there, completely dehydrated. And a lot of the diseases these days, a lot of the health issues are related to dehydration. So hydrate. You have back pain, joint pain, hydrate yourself. How much? Well, some people really say that it would be best to have the equivalent of half your body weight in ounces, not in pounds. So 200 pounds person would have about 100 ounces of water.